Time once again for our weekly update with New Hope, and the mayor is with us, Kathi Hemken. Mayor, how are you enjoying this nice 70-degree day?
Oh, just fine. Thanks, Dave.
Yes, we'll take it, won't we? Lots of
Yes,
signs
we
of
will.
spring here. Let's talk about some springtime dates for people to remember on their calendar. What are some important dates coming up in April for residents?
Well, coming up April 1st is the Appeals and Equalization meeting, and that's the meeting that you can attend if you think your market value of your house is wrong. We suggest that you call City Hall first or call the auditor and get some information before you just show up at the meeting, because typically if you do, we'll send you to the auditor anyway, and sometimes you can get that taken care of before you even come to that meeting. So anyway, that's on the 1st at 7 o'clock. It'll be on WebEx. So if you are going to come, you'll have to call City Hall anyway to get the information to get onto that meeting. The other meeting is the 24th of April. And that is the Hennepin County Recycling, the special drop-off. So if you go onto the website, there's a list of what's free, there's a cost to, and what you can and cannot drop off there. And I believe that's like 8 to 3:30 or something like that. And there's usually a line, so get there early.
Yeah, busy event for everyone doing their spring cleaning. Let's talk about the streets in the city for a little bit. Another sign of spring is the sweeping ready to occur. Who are you working with this year on the sweeping, and when does that take place?
Well, last year we hired a company that the equipment broke down and we didn't get the streets swept for quite a while. We finally ended up doing it ourselves, and it took a long time. So we went with a different company this time. They're going to start on I think the 12th of April. So they basically will go sweeping all the streets. One of the things that happens is they're sweeping up debris, but they're not necessarily cleaning out the storm grates. So if residents could do that, that'd be very helpful. Get some gloves, get those bags and all those twigs out of that storm grate. It'll help with the water flow. If they don't get to it, our public works will sooner or later, but they've got a lot of them to get to. It's really easier because you get to see it and it's right there in front of you. So a little help would be nice.
Great.
Also,
Go right ahead.
During the winter, if there was a water main break, they had to take out the curb to fix that in a lot of cases. So now they're going back and pouring curbs this spring. So you'll see some curb work being done. If you happen to lose your curb over the winter, it's coming back.
That's good news. And a final note about something happening out by the curbs is the fire hydrants. They're going to get their little baggies off.
They are. They put those baggies on so that it protects them from rusting and just from wear and tear from the plows. So those bags will come off now that we've got a fire crew that's back to full force. So look for those little bags coming off. Don't take them off yourself, please. The fire department will do that because there's some things they do when they take them off.
Well, with nice weather, a lot of activity in the city's parks. And one park to tell you about first is Corner Park. Some updates we've been talking about happening there. What's the progress at Corner Park?
Well, we met with the residents, 2 meetings, and they also picked out a color for the equipment that's going in there. That should start like the middle of May. We've got to get the contractor on board. We've got to get the right stuff coming in. So that'll be starting the middle of May. They'll have it done before summer, though. Doesn't take long once they get started. The other thing is the Civic Center Park, our playground equipment there has been getting flooded. And there is a drain underneath the wood chips, but the drain isn't working properly. So the engineering staff is looking at that so they can get that to drain. Again, that should be up and running by late spring. They'll get it figured out. They just don't know right now what to do.
That is good news. Something here a little more complicated within the city, the street infrastructure tax capacity rate comparison. Mayor, help us out. What does that mean in
that's
English?
A mouthful.
It is.
Well, when you look at your taxes, not your tax rate, it looks really high because one of the things that happens is New Hope puts a levy on your taxes to pay for streets to be repaired. That saves us from having a $8,000 to $10,000 bill come that they need to pay right away. So this way, we're all paying into that on a regular basis. So all of the people in the city are using all the streets, and so they're all paying into that. That turns out to be about 13% of your local tax to pay for that. So when you look at our taxes compared to other cities, our taxes look higher. It's because the infrastructure is being put in there. So
good news, good explanation. City community development news. Let's hop there for a minute. And the Hennepin Recycling Group, something about organics coming up we should be thinking about?
So Hennepin County told us that we must have our refuse hauler pick up organic recycling starting in January of 2022. Well, we had to change our ordinance to put that in there. We've contacted the refuse haulers. Now, there's going to be a cost for that. So we don't expect that a lot of people are going to sign up for it, but you can.
Okay.
They did tell us that they can't have two, we can't mandate for them to have two trucks. So that way they'll set the organic recycling to one side, because with two trucks, that means we have to have two different places to dump this stuff. And we can't I talked to the city attorney, we can't tell the garbage haulers that they have to have two trucks. So it's just a little complicated. It is something that we're being told we have to do. And we can do it if we want to, but there's a cost to it.
All right, more information on that and certainly other things we talk about, city's website, newhopemn.gov. Let's move ahead to scattered site housing. We have some property to update residents on. The first is on Aquila. How are things moving ahead there?
Okay, that's the house that had the fire. We bought it for $73,000, and it was that reasonable because we're not buying the house, we're just buying the land. So they've gone in and started to remove the trees that are on there that aren't going to be helpful when they put the new house in, and the shrubs. So it's gone to a developer that should start, we should take the old house down soon and then start developing it. So you'll see a new house there probably by the end of summer.
Very good. Let's move over to Pennsylvania. What is happening there as far as some demolition coming up?
So we're getting bids on that. When you do demolition, you have to make sure that all of the hazardous materials are being taken care of. You also have to shut off the gas service to the house, shut off the water main service, make sure that the sewer service is good, not inside the house, but up to the house. Inside the house, that's really part of the new homeowners. So when that's done, that will come down, and then we'll put up a new house there.
And final one is 47th Avenue. That is the Habitat for Humanity house. What is the update there?
Well, that's kind of exciting. They said they're going to be able to accommodate some small crews of volunteers to help. A lot of times they'll get a big crew and they'll do it all right away quick. They're not allowed to do that because of the pandemic. So there'll be some small crews. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can contact Habitat, or I think you can go online and contact them through them, volunteers to help refurbish that house.
Very nice. We've been previewing the business networking group and their upcoming speaker. One more time here as that meeting's drawing close. What is coming up in April?
April 7th at 8:30 in the morning. That's I believe that's a Zoom call. I'm not positive of that. The business networking group is having the Center for Energy and Environment, a speaker come in and talk about the energy squad. And so that's kind of a fun thing. If you're a business owner, that might be a fun thing for you to look into, or even a homeowner.
Another note about businesses in the city, we have something called certificates of occupancy. What is that permit that businesses should be filling out? How is it used within the city?
Well, we want to know what businesses are here, because we have a list of all our businesses, and a lot of times when new residents come, they want to see that list. They want to see what businesses are here so they can support them. And if we don't know they're here, we can't put them on the list. So that's the object of the business occupancy certificate. It's different than a business license, like the massage parlors, the chiropractors, dentists, doctors, they need to have licenses, but this is a certificate, and I don't think it costs anything just to get yourself registered.
Another spot, more information on the website that you can find out more about that. Building permits and inspections, 7900 Bass Lake Road, the old gas station there. Work continues on. What is the latest with that project?
Well, they took out a permit to do $30,000 with the renovation. So it looks like they're going to do just a big convenience store there, take out the garages that they had. So of course it's getting new bathrooms and floors and ceilings and paint and all that other stuff. So look for that. Progress is being made. They don't have a date when they're opening, but look for that to open soon.
Another update is through the COVID times, we've been talking about the points of sale permit process, how that has changed. Give us a little update on that. Is there something changing at this point or soon with that process?
Yeah. When you're going to sell your house, you need to get a point of sale inspection, and our inspector would come out, and what they basically do is give you some hints on what you need to do to make that house up to code. A lot of times it's just putting in a fan, putting in a railing, Well, because of COVID, they gave some temporary maintenance agreements out on those point of sales. Those agreements have now expired. So
Okay,
now they have to get a final inspection done. And they need to call City Hall or go online and make an appointment to get that final inspection done.
very good. Couple updates from the police department. We have the chief meeting with other chiefs in the area. What is the topic of discussion that they're getting together about?
Well, our chief is really into community development, which is a good thing. So he's meeting with the chiefs of Robbinsdale and Crystal, and they're talking about the future community engagement events focusing on juvenile race relations. So trying to get out there, get the kids involved with the police officers. Police aren't scary. They're there to help. So we want to make sure that the youth know that they're there to help them.
Another note from the police department, the chief wants to point out a longtime officer retiring. Give us some information about the officer.
Well, Andy Lammers was our canine officer. He had 3 different dogs for a long time. He's been with the department for 31 years. He's finally decided to retire. We don't want him to retire, by the way, but this is his decision. So we just want to thank him so much for all that he did, not only with the canines, but just with the whole department, and wish him a happy retirement.
Congratulations to him. Projects and miscellaneous things coming up in the city. We want to talk about the street infrastructure improvements. When does that process get underway? And I understand some bids have already been approved for that.
Yep. Well, we started with the infrastructure. You know, every year we do a big infrastructure project, and it's kind of mapped out. And if you go online onto the website, you can see what area is being done there. Well, one of the things that they're also doing is they have to locate where the water main shutoffs are. And those aren't in your house. There's one in your house too, but these are on the street, so that if you have a problem, they're able to shut that off, and they want to make sure that those are working. So the crews have been going around, and they're in people's front yards looking for that water main shut off. That's what they're doing, just to make sure that it's functioning, and it'll function if we need to turn it off for some reason.
Good to know what they're looking for. Let's talk a little bit about Meadow Lake and some of the drawdown process that's being talked about, and a couple different areas of this that people might need to understand. Give us the explanation.
Well, this was explained to me too. So
Okay.
there's the Meadow Lake Community Action Plan. That takes care of all the water outside the lake that's going into the lake. So they're looking at how it's getting in there and what needs to be done to make sure that the phosphorus is down and leaves and all that stuff isn't going in. The other one is the Meadow Lake Management Plan, and that's the water that's in the lake.
Okay.
So what happened was people were dumping their minnow buckets into the lake, and those little minnows didn't have any predators. And so they were just multiplying like crazy and choking off a lot of the good stuff in the lake, raising the phosphorus levels. So we want to, this is a 2-pronged project. Not only do we have to take care of the water in the lake, we have to take care of the stuff that's coming into the lake. So in August, they'll do a drawdown, which means they'll drain the water out of the lake in the hopes that things will die off. They'll do an alum treatment. They have to wait till August because of the turtles.
Right.
In August, the turtles will migrate to it. We don't want to kill the turtles, by the way, but they will migrate to another spot. But if we do it too early, they don't leave. If we do it too late, it's too late for them to leave. So apparently August is the time for turtles to be on the move.
All right. That is good to know. Park and Rec, a lot going on here with spring break coming up. Give us a preview of some things coming up and some things that are already underway.
Well, there's the gnome scavenger hunt, and that's underway. And also the spring musical camp, and that has started too. Of course, you can always go on to the In Motion and find all the stuff that's going on in the Park and Recs. You'll also be getting some stuff in the mail. If you didn't get an In Motion, you can go either online and find what's there, or you can go to City Hall and get the booklet. I kind of like the booklet. I can kind of page through it and see what's there. So that's always a little more fun, I think.
Other Park and Rec information is for jobs. So lots of job possibilities here. What can people help out the city with this summer?
Well, we need people.
Yeah.
We need people in the parks. We need them at the ice arena, and we need them at the golf course. And these are really good part-time jobs for high school students, college students, even seniors. So a lot of them aren't real physical. They're just being around people. So of course, if you're looking for a little summer job, that's the place to look for it. They are scheduling the community gyms. There's apparently the Minnesota Twins is doing a youth coach camp.
Right.
And that will be at the community gyms. I'm not sure when it's starting, but that'll be soon. Also, golf leagues have started, or the sign up has started. Golf leagues won't start till I think the 18th of April. So if you want to play in a league, now's the time to sign up for that. You can also sign up to rent the patio in the back. The fall signups for the inside, for the clubhouse, they only rent it after the leagues are done. So, but now's the time to sign up because it gets really busy really quick.
One other item to hop back on here, it looks like local athletic associations are working with the city on a regular basis. There's a process. They have to reserve fields for their needs potentially over the summer. Is that correct, Mayor?
Oh, yeah, the baseball fields. You can't just show up and play.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of demand for those fields. And besides, we want to make sure that we've got the track or whatever you call it, where they run around the bases. We want to make sure that that's leveled out nice and that the striping is down and the bases are in. So you have to go to the Park and Rec Department and sign up for the use of those parks. And I believe there's a fee to use some of them.
All right, information on the city's website. Let's talk the ice arena for a minute. Still time to get in and skate and open skating?
There's always open skating on Friday nights and Sundays. And so you can rent skates, you can have your skates sharpened. You can also sign up for lessons. And so if you want to skate and don't know how and don't have skates, we've got everything you need. Perfect.
And also a lot of those camps going on now for goalies and other hockey players. Check out the New Hope Ice Arena for all the activities that are going on. Couple final notes, the city's website, great place to go for all sorts of information. Just highlight again some of the things residents will find there, and also the Tip 411 and the success of that program.
Okay, so we have something called the In Touch, also something called the In the Pipeline. They usually come in the mail. The In the Pipeline comes with your water bill. If you live in an apartment, you don't get a water bill in the mail like that. So you can go into City Hall and pick up all those publications at the Park and Rec Department or just inside the door, just to see what's going on in the city. Or you can go online. You know, when people say to me, oh, I didn't know that, they can go online, they can make a phone call, they can go pick up stuff. I don't know how else to get it to them, but we're trying to get it to them as much as we can. One of the things that's happening right now is they're trying to get the Coffee with a Cop started. So they're doing a logo, they're doing some posters, they're doing a communication plan so that people know where this is happening. And that isn't just for youth, by the way. So I don't have a lot of details on that yet, but we're trying to get out in the community as much as we can.
Great. And as we find out more, we'll certainly pass it along in these updates. Final note, we've got an update for May. So get out there now and start practicing for the Step To It Challenge. Mayor, what is that great event and why should residents get involved?
Okay, so you can go online to Step To It, all one word, Step To It, and sign up. You have to get an account. And then all of your activities that happen from May 1st to May 31st, you can log in there. When you sign up, make sure you sign up that you're part of the New Hope team. Right. Every year we come in third, getting beaten by Brooklyn Park. And we just want to be second or even first.
Okay.
So you can go in and sign up and track all your motions. You get points for vacuuming the living room. You get points for riding your bike, for golfing, for walking the dog, just about anything you can imagine, there's points for. So now it's going to be April, you can start getting ready for Step To It.
That's right.
So that by the time it actually starts, you can just get out there and walk a lot.
Perfect idea. So again, steptoit.org, the site to go to find out more information about signing up for that great event in May, and newhopemn.gov, the place to go to find out everything and anything happening in the city of New Hope. Mayor, thanks once again for your time. Look forward to talking to you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. Have a nice week. Bye-bye.
You too. Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.